Good morning, kindergartners. I'm excited to share a story with you this morning for Reader's Workshop. It's called Figley's Search for the Perfect Pet, and it's written by Suzanne Katsakos and Ryan McCullough, and also has been illustrated by Ryan McCullough. Welcome to the island of Mutasia, where everyone is a mixed up mix of two or more different animals. Mutasia is filled with so many kooky combinations, you'd have to see it to believe it. This is Figley. He's a happy little Mutasian who's part possum, part cow, and part bird. Figley loves playing outside and hanging upside down with his long possum tail. Figley lives high up in the trees of the Mutasian jungle in a place called Tree Village. He lives there with his friends Zabetta and Chadwick. They're mixed up mixes of different animals too. Zabetta is extremely adventurous. She loves swinging on vines and leaping through the trees with her big duck feet. Chadwick is part elephant, so he never forgets. He's super duper smart and is always inventing goofy gadgets out of things that he finds in the jungle. Today, they're setting out for the city of Mutropolis to visit their friends Julio Habanero and Billy Pennicorn. Figley loves to visit the big city. It's so different from life in the jungle, and his friends there are so cool. The best part about visiting them is listening to their awesome little band perform in Billy's living room. Julio uses his crab claws to rock out on the guitar while Billy sings as loud as her little penguin beak will allow. Figley noticed that Billy looked unhappy today and asked her why. She explained that she was bored with her pet pugapillar, Carl. Pugapillars are half pug and half caterpillar. They're so normal and boring. Billy wants a pet that's cool and exotic, like her. Figley told Billy that living in the jungle has made him an expert in exotic pets. He'd be happy to find her a new one. Yes, please, she squealed. Then let's begin, yelled Figley. Let's find you your perfect pet. After a short time away, Figley burst through the door with a honking squonk. A squonk is part squid, so it has many long tentacles. Figley thought those tentacles would make it a perfect addition to Billy's band. It could play lots of instruments all at once. But the squonk is also part donkey, so it's very, very stubborn. It'll only play its favorite type of music, postmodern bluegrass disco. Billy and Julio do not like postmodern bluegrass disco music, so she asked Figley to find her a different pet. Next, Figley brought Billy an adorable pudgy. Pudgies are part parakeet, so they have a beautiful singing voice, but they're also part pufferfish and will puff up and float away. Billy screamed, "Eek, I'm afraid of heights. Please find me a different pet." Figley next suggested a meowser. A meowser is a cat mixed with a lizard. So instead of coughing up hairballs, it coughs up scale balls. Gross. The Dolphoni had a beautiful mane for Billy to brush and style, but sadly, this dolphin pony mix was very snobby. It didn't like any of the hairstyles she created, so Billy asked for a pet that's more fun. A mingo is fun. It has the long neck of a flamingo and the size of an elephant, making it a super cool playground for everyone to play on. But it's also part goldfish and needs a lot of water. It takes up the whole bathtub. The flickety has the friendly front half of a manatee, but its back half glows in the dark like a firefly, keeping Billy up all night long. The puffaliger seemed like a great choice because it scared away the neighborhood bullies, but sadly, it scared away her friends too. The Witten is part walrus, so it had to live in her ice-cold freezer. That was okay until it ate all the ice cream. The snog is part snail, so taking it on walks is miserable. It's so slow and leaves a gross, slimy trail. The Macallan's swordfish nose destroyed her pillows and popped her antique balloon collection. The Mookling built nests on the furniture and knocked over vases with its antlers. And as for the Pygmalion, well, she couldn't even find it. Nibs were a horrible idea from the start. They're part mouse and have huge, sharp piranha teeth for eating your toys. They have 8 creepy spider legs and spin icky, sticky webs. Billy didn't like anything about the nibs. Figley was running out of ideas. Tunaroo? Skunkatoo? Hissy poo? Crockadoodle doo? No, no thanks. No way. Nope. Billy started thinking, maybe the perfect pet doesn't need to do anything fancy like fly, play an instrument, or glow in the dark. Maybe she just needs a pet that's part loyal and part loving, something that stays out of trouble, mixed with something that's cute and cuddly. Figley leapt up in the air and shouted, "That's it! I know exactly what your perfect pet is." It was Carl, her pugapillar. Yippee! Billy cheered. Figley told Billy that sometimes the things you really need are right in front of you the whole time. You just don't realize it until they're gone. Billy nodded as she looked around at all the goofy critters in her house. "What are you going to do with them all?" she asked. Figley gathered up the pets and marched them off into the sunset. As they disappeared beyond the horizon, he proclaimed, "I'm going to find them their perfect owners." The end. All right, friends, I'm going to stop sharing my screen. So for Reader's Workshop today, we read that story, and I want you guys to think about a few things, and then I have a little art project for you to do. My first question for you is to think about who some of the main characters are in the book. There were a couple, and you could even probably come up with some other characters that weren't maybe the main ones, but were in the story. Then I want you to think about, where does the story take place? And I'll give you a hint. There are kind of 2 main places. So see if you can come up with where those 2 places were. And the last thing I have for you to do is the art project, which is to create your own perfect pet, kind of like the creatures in Mutasia that have 2 or 3 different animal parts. So you can go, after you think through the answers to those other questions, if you have time, you can go and make a drawing of your perfect pet. And hopefully we'll have some time to share tomorrow morning what you came up with. And I'm really excited to see what your animals are. All right, friends. I hope you have a great rest of your day.